welcome to the Love Government. I'm Dennis Leary. I'm the founder of the Love Government. You're very welcome to join us here. We're talking about sex signs, and we have had 8 episodes, and this will be the 9th episode in this journey. We're taking a journey to who we are. We're not really going anywhere, but it seems we're going into the past and we're including the future. So we're on a track here. And we're on a fast track. We're moving at love speed, so you have to hang on to the side rails, or you may have an early departure. But stay with us if you choose, and we're going to head for really the heart of home. The heart, home is where the heart is, and so we're going for the heart of hearts. And you know, you got that button on your computer that says home, or when you're at a website you go home. So we're going home to where the heart is. The heart is not where we think it is. It's not up here in the chest pump. That's a chest pump. That's a patriarchal type of heart. Romantic heart, sentimental heart, whatever. It's nice, but the real heart of where we're going is to the love culture, and that's the heart down here. Down here in the pubic area of the woman. Now, man has that type of pubic area too, but it's obscured by the hangings in front. If a man is well hung, which all men, of course, are well hung, you have a penis and balls hanging down, so we don't usually see or pay attention to the triangular heart in a man, but in a woman we do. It's outstanding. We're going in now to the love culture. We're looking for a landing, you know, zooming in, looking for a landing. And we land in one of the small communities of lovers who are honoring, revering, worshiping the lover. The lover is their focal point. And they tell stories about the lover. The lover, how she brought forth creation, how we're all part of the lover's body, how she nourishes with her monthly menstruation and her occasional ejaculation of the waters that come out of her. In addition to her body itself is the nourishment. Go out and pick fruit that's coming from the lover's body in that mentality, not in our mentality. It comes from, the supermarket, but in their mentality, it came from, the earth mother, the earth lover. So, in rituals and in rites and in ceremonies, and the churches today do it. Even the politicos, they do it. They dress up in their robes or their graduation hats and they go through their ceremonies are part of life, and now they're secular, but then they were sacred ceremonies. And so the ceremonies that they had revolved around reenacting aspects of the lover's body, giving birth, whatever. And we have traces of this left in our culture. You go into churches, so on, they say, "Eat my body, drink my blood." Now, what could that possibly mean in our culture? That's a Christian thing, for those of you not familiar with it. That's part of the Christian Eucharist. It's in the Bible, so it's got to be true, right? It's in the Bible. Jesus says, "Eat my body and drink my blood." And you think, wow, what in the world could that mean? Is that cannibalism? That's terrible. That's gross. And you say, no, it's a metaphor. Jesus was making a metaphor. It was not real. You don't really do that. But you actually eat bread now. That's his body, and the wine is his blood. You're acting out a ceremony, and in the Christian point of view, remember, all religions and even secular things act out originating ceremony. So what he's saying is, Jesus says, "Do this in remembrance of me. Eat my body." It means be very intimate with me. Drink my blood. It means, but see, in a patriarchal storytelling, none of it makes sense. You have to really force these things to make sense, because they don't make any sense. All of patriarchal literature, and that's all of his story is history, all of his story is this way. It doesn't make any sense, but it's forced upon us. It's his story. To get the truth, you have to go back past his history into her story. And that's the oral tradition. And that is what we're doing here. We're getting past the lies of his story into the truth of her story. And the truth of her story is often hidden. You can do textual analysis, and it's very interesting, with this in mind: the falsity of the phallus and the truthity of the chalice. To make up a little saying here. Eat my body, drink my blood. What could that be? It doesn't make any sense. It has a forced sense has to be put on it to make it, and of course force is used. It means this, in patriarchal terminology: man saves you, not woman. Forget about her. She's down south. She's below the belt. Yeah, dirty, nasty. But up here, the higher you get to the head, the more truth we have. At least go down as far as the chest pump, but don't go much lower. Don't go below the belt for truth. It won't be found there. If you want truth, you go up the mountain, right? The phallus symbol, up the mountain to see the guru sitting on top. Why don't you go to the valley where the woman has the truth? No. Anyway, eat my body, drink my blood means it came from somewhere. In other words, patriarchy is not that bright. They can't make things up. They twist the original meaning. The original meaning of that phrase in all the ceremonies people are doing over centuries goes back to the woman's culture. It's been changed slightly. She's saying, eat my body. And it makes sense in a woman's culture because you go out and pick the fruit off the tree. That's eating her body because everything is the lover's body. So when you go eat the fruit off the tree, you're eating the lover's body in a way. And that's what she's saying. Eat my body. Now, the patriarchs don't like that because that's taking power away from them. So they make up a story about Eve eating fruit off the tree, which she does it naturally, what we do today. But now it becomes a sin. Now it becomes a disobedience to God because God said, don't eat the fruit off the tree. It's irrational because, fruit is everything. If you want, grain is fruit. So he's saying, don't eat. It's irrational. It's crazy. But God is saying, why? And Eve turns around and says, why, God? Why can't I eat the fruit? I've always done it. Because I said so. And this is a test of your faith in me, whether you're going to obey me or not. So don't eat the fruit. Oh, okay. So that's what we're treated. This irrational stuff, we're forced on us. You obey or you're going to get punished. And so God does eventually kick her butt out of the garden. Big tragedy, big tragedy. And the blame is placed on her for doing what she does naturally. So eat my body is a natural thing. Now what about drink my blood? That's a problem. I think originally it's twisted by patriarchy. Originally it meant drink my water. Because water is a more natural thing. You don't drink blood. I mean, it may have happened in the past. People actually drink menstrual blood. They may. It's possible. But I'm not sure about that. I don't know. But certainly drinking water is a natural act, right? So in a sexual sense, and this is where the pedal hits the metal for a lot of people, and the friction flies and they just blank out completely. And this regard is zooming in on oral sex, which remember was a natural thing in the love culture. Drink the woman's waters would have been her ejaculatory waters. The ejaculatory waters in general went out to nourish the earth because it's water, it's a natural thing. But if you drank those in some ceremonial way or other or through oral sex or whatever, you were nourishing yourself directly with the woman's waters. So you get eat my body, drink my waters, probably was the original. It got changed to drink my blood for a couple of reasons. And this is dark and dirty. I don't know if you want to listen to it. You may go out and, do the dishes or something at this point, but don't listen to this. Because it gets a little heavy duty here, but it's concerning the power of blood. Remember I said the life is in the blood? Blood is very powerful. Now men derive their power by the power of blood. See, they couldn't have that blood flow every month, which is nature's way of nourishing. So men are trying to think, well, we can't do, although they try, even today in some of the cultures, men will slice their penis to get blood in imitation of the women. They still do that, or have until recently, because the anthropologists write about it. Men wanted to be able to shed blood and not die, like the women. The women can shed blood and not die. How are the men going to do that? Here's how they did it. They began to kill animals. Yeah, starting at the small with the little animals and so on. They shed blood of the animals, not their own. Although sometimes they even did that. Circumcision is a way of shedding blood, cutting the male member. The male, therefore, they may have done it when the guy was older, but it's an imitation, a false imitation of women's natural functioning and faculties. Women shed blood naturally. Men have to do it artificially. So circumcision is one way to do it. Make the kid bleed. Who cares? Or kill animals. Then you're shedding blood differently. You kill the animals, and in that you get a blood rush. If you've ever been a hunter, you get a blood rush. The energy just comes out the barrel of the gun when you're hunting, and then you get bonding with your fellow men, and you get that power. See, then men bulk up with the power. They get top heavy. They bulk up because of the bloodletting and also the eating of the meat. And you're going to get some blood. You're going to be drinking some blood, and you're going to be eating the meat. And then you bulk up and you get powerful over the animals, and then you begin to take it out on other men with your power, your bloodlust, and then you turn it on the women. You force them with sex. And if they don't go along, they're just simply eliminated. They're killed. And that is the state of today. And I know this is real heavy. That's why hopefully mothers out there doing their dishes now. But that's the state of today. It's a bloodlust game that's going on. The killing that goes on through these wars, the killing with money on the stock market, the killing through raping and pillaging, all this type of killing is the turning from being a lover to a killer. From being a lover man, a true man, lover man, to a killer man, macho man. And this is really heavy duty stuff. I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg. The people who are getting killed and murdered and tortured and raped and suffering today, deprived of their land, etc., 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 are feeling it in their bodies. This is a perversion. This is called the patriarchal perversion, and it's real heavy-duty stuff, which you're probably only going to hear here, because we're protected here. I can do this safely. You can do it. You can hear this information safely because we're protected by an aura of love. The aura of love is the strongest force we have on the planet. The aura of love. So go back to, I don't want to make anybody sick. I don't want to gross anybody out. I don't want to blow anybody's brains out. But this information needs to be told in a safe, contained way. Because we're going to destroy ourselves if we don't get it right this time. And we have a limited amount of time on this planet to get it right. So we can't waste time anymore. Time is running short. We've got to tell the information and tell it true and straight and right up front. And this is what I'm attempting to doing with all my defaults and my all past patriarchal past. I used to be a Catholic priest and a Catholic monk. That's double down on patriarchy. Priest and a monk is a double downing on patriarchy. And so I'm very familiar with eat my body, drink my blood, because I did the whole ceremony thing. But I'm saying that's a false ceremony, because the true ceremony was eat my body, the lover is talking, and drink my waters. And I don't know about the blood. That's where it goes back. And then it makes sense. Then it's a very beautiful power that's not going to be power over. It's going to be power with. So thank you for listening, and you're welcome to join us on our further episodes.